everyone, I'm Keen947, aka Wolfkeen, and welcome to another edition of Wolfkeen Talks. It's been a while since I've done one of these episodes, and I know I said I would be working on new content for the channel, which I am. It's just I'm slowly but surely reintegrating myself into video making and video editing, because kind of like a diet, when you don't do something on it for about 3 to 4 months, it's hard to get back into that schedule. So kind of like that, I have to take a little time to get back into the schedule and swing of things of editing, making videos, uploading stuff on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure none of you even care at this point. So today on Wolfkeen Talks, I want to talk about a subject that was actually asked of me on Tumblr. Someone asked me a question basically asking me, has there ever been a game that was much better than it had any right to be? Now, I already answered that question on my Tumblr, but I really wanted to answer it here on YouTube and see what other people would say and broaden it out. Besides being games, I want to talk about not only games that are good but have no right to be good, you know, that kind of topic, but I also want to talk about movies and shows as well. So the topic is this basically: what is one movie, game, and show that was much better than it had any right to be? Like, it had all like it had everything against it that it should have failed. Like, oh no, this product should fail, it shouldn't be good. And yet it was, to all of our surprise. So let's begin, of course, with games. The first one that I want to talk about is, of course, a game that was really good but had no right to be good. And that would have to be the Godfather video game. Now, I don't know how many of you know about the Godfather movies or the Godfather video game, which, by the way, check out the Godfather movies, they're actually pretty good. The Godfather video game is actually one of these rare occasions where we have a movie-based game that was actually really good, followed the plot of the movie to a certain extent, and yet was actually good. Like, I wrote this game off for a long time as, oh, it's just another crappy movie-based licensed game and yada yada yada. But after playing it, especially on the PS3 version, I can honestly say that it is really good. Even though it is a GTA clone, which I think at the time when it came out, Vice City or something like that was the newest game. But even still, it's actually a really good game when you consider everything. Follows the plot of the movie rather well, allows you to play as a unique character going up the ranks in the Corleone family, has a wide array of weapons, side missions, and the world itself actually looks pretty cool. And I definitely love the incorporation of not only gunplay, but melee combat as well. It added so many things to this game, and the fact that it followed the story so faithfully, that honestly, it was much better than it had any right to be. And this is one example of a game that I feel like is much better than it has any right to be. Now, to talk about a show that is much better than it has any right to be, I think it's pretty obvious at this point. My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. Let's all face it, guys. When we heard that there was going to be a new generation of My Little Pony, like for Generation 4 and yada yada yada, I'm pretty sure a lot of us pretty much were like, well, this is going to fail. I'm not looking at this show. Go ahead and have fun with it, little girls. I'm pretty sure a lot of us were like that at one point. And after really checking out the show, I'm pretty sure a good chunk of us are like, why is this show so good? It has no reason to be good. It shouldn't be good, and yet it is. My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic had all the elements and everything to fail, but yet it didn't. Why? Because the writers actually gave a damn and actually put their heart and soul into it, instead of just making like a generic little girl show. No offense to anybody who wrote the earlier generations, of course, but this is where they got it right, and they showed us that a show like this can be enjoyed by a large audience. Kind of like with Avatar: The Last Airbender, where not only kids can enjoy it, but adults can enjoy it. But this is where I'm trying to get at, that My Little Pony had no right to be good, and yet it was, thanks to it having good characters, good story concepts, and not to mention it has a good flow and it actually breaks stereotypes. Yes, the show itself, goes through certain stereotypes, but it actually does a good job at not staying with them completely. So yeah, it's a show that honestly had no right to be good, but it is. And it's a bit of a shocker when you really consider it. Now, movies is a bit of a trickier nut for me to say, considering that I'm not much of a movie watcher. Though I have seen a few movies in the past, though not a lot, I would say they're good. They're much better than they have any right to be. So what would be one movie that would fall into that category that I've seen? Honestly, the CGI Resident Evil movies. Really think about that. We had the live-action Resident Evil movies, which, besides the first one, which is passable, the rest of them are just insanely outlandish and stupid. I don't know many people who actually like the live-action movies, and I don't know many people who would defend it. However, the CGI Resident Evil movies is probably the one time where I'll say it's much better than it has any right to be, because after the crappy the live-action movies, when we heard that there was going to be the CGI Resident Evil movies, we all just kind of were going to be like, oh boy, this is going to fail just as bad as the live-action movies. And it didn't. Granted, Degeneration is not as good as the sequel, Damnation, but it was the first movie, and honestly, it still showed me that they could do a Resident Evil movie if they actually had the right elements. I guess the problem was that I thought it was going to suck because the live-action movies give me such a sour note, but thanks to the CGI movies, I know a Resident Evil movie is possible. It was much better than it had any right to be, and honestly, it was definitely good movies. Like, I'd recommend Degeneration and Damnation. Check them out however you can, because I think they're really good movies. And honestly, that's not much else I could say at that point. It's like, this kind of a topic is very hard to talk about because there really isn't much you could say, but you can explain why why a movie, a game, or a show is much better than it has any right to be, and maybe have people see your point of view and maybe check it out. You never know. So with that, I'm going to leave you off with a question, guys. Go ahead and answer this in the comments down below. What is one movie, game, show, etc. that was much better than it had any right to be? Go ahead and leave your comments down in the comment section down below, and we will discuss it down below. Now, with that done, I'm going to give some simple updates on my channel. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm going to be slowly but surely reintegrating myself into video editing. So I can't make any promises as of right now when I'm going to upload new videos, if I'm going to start getting a schedule going, because I just need to get back into the swing of things, and not to mention I owe a few projects to other people, so I gotta work on those first before I can start worrying about myself. But I am going to start working on my own content slowly but surely. I'm going to try to do Wolfkeen Talks every week or so this way, I can keep the channel going. And there are a couple of other ideas I have in mind which I may try to integrate into the channel as well, but I will definitely let you know what they are once I get closer to those dates. So with that said, there's not much else I need to say. Thank you everybody for watching this edition of Wolfkeen Talks, and hopefully I'll have new content for you ready in the future. So until next time, I'm Keenan47, aka Wolfkeen. Hope you enjoyed, and until next time guys, take care.